Good morning, and what is going on? All of you beautiful people from around the world, what is up? I'm Josh. Welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, the very best way to start your nerdy morning. On today's show, we got to talk about Uncle Bob. Everybody wants to talk about Uncle Bob. Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, out of nowhere, steps down. Bob Chapek replacing him. We got to talk about the Bobs, guys. There's an official story on this, but we here at the Den of Nerds have exclusive insider information from unnamed sources about what Bob Iger's actual plans are during this time period, and more interestingly and more importantly, what he plans on doing after he is done as the CEO of Disney and the chairman. It's going to be very interesting. I also want to go over some of the Venom 2 set photos. To me, this movie looks so fun. I haven't been able to talk about these set photos yet, so I wanted to gush about them, just talk in general a little bit about the movie. Plus, there's another possible mutant coming into the MCU in the Shang-Chi movie. This is fascinating, and we've been hearing just way too much about mutants coming in for it not to have at least some truth to it. We'll save some time for Q&A as well. How is everybody doing in chat? I see a lot of beautiful faces in here. Let's see. Justin, Wavy Dave Topic, Rahal, Norinrad, Captain Pennsylvania, Hector, Trevor, Tara, Brian, Justin, Jason's here, Steve's here, Trinity, Second Street Marvel's here, Jacob's Quest is here, Grey Dawn, Star Wars Santa, 302 days until Christmas 2020, at 0 days since the Star Wars fandom's last controversy. Oh, man. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is certainly it when it comes to Star Wars fans. The controversy is the whole game. So let's see here. First thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is a little bit of the Star Wars stuff that happened. So obviously, I was a little irritated yesterday. And I do apologize about that, thought about it later. I was like, oh, man, why do I have to be so ridiculous? Here's the thing. I'll just be completely real with you guys. I obviously have a blind spot for Star Wars. I'm obviously a really big Star Wars fan in a way that I don't think people are Star Wars fans anymore. There's a lot of people that just are not Star Wars fans. They're fans of shitting on Star Wars. They're fans of pointing out all the different mistakes of Star Wars, but they're not really fans of Star Wars, in my opinion. But also, it's just weird for me, man. Like, I see this stuff so much, you know what I mean? Because of what I do with the channel and because of, like, constantly looking and checking in with fan bases and stuff like that. I think I just see this stuff way more than a lot of other people. I think people come in, they leave their comment, and then they're out, right? I live in that comment world. Barbaric Riemann, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Bob is planning to see how the other halves live now. He's going to wait in line 2 hours to ride Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. But look, here's the thing, guys. Getting back to the Star Wars stuff, you have to understand, and I'm trying to understand, that not everybody's in the same spot with this. There are people that legitimately are worried when they see diversity on a whiteboard. And as much as I think those people are a bunch of buttholes and they're blowing stuff out of proportion, I can't make that sweeping judgment of people. You know what I mean? There's probably plenty of people that actually legitimately are bothered by that. They're legitimately concerned about that. You know what I mean? Or about dinosaurs being on the board or an actual ending, right? And as much as, like, to me, I'm like, well, that's really stupid because that is obviously them brainstorming, putting a bunch of different ideas on there. And there's clearly people that are writers within that group that care about diversity probably way more than the other writers, and that's okay in my opinion. As much as I want to just fucking, you know what I'm saying here, guys? We can't just make those kind of judgments. And so it's really, honestly, it makes me not want to cover Star Wars. Like, literally, it makes me not want to cover Star Wars. I am so, because, like, I like what's going on and I'm excited about the High Republic. But then it's like you get excited and you come out and you're just hit with waves of negativity and everybody's got the same shit to say. And it's not, I really don't think it's people thinking for themselves. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't. I think it's a lot of like, hey, this is the talking point. And like Kathy Kennedy it's so look, the negativity surrounding Kathy Kennedy is so exhausting that like I'm on the side where I'm like, get her out of there. Get her out of there simply so that I don't have to hear these nice people that we're not going to disparage. Yeah. Oh, and I blocked a shit ton of people yesterday. I blocked a ton of people coming in with their stupid comments on that video. I was like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Normally stuff that I just let go. You know what I mean? I was like, no, it's cool. Like, we'll let it go. Look, people are allowed to express themselves. I was in a mood yesterday, and every time I saw some person that thinks differently than I do come in there, I was like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Oh, we blocked like 15 people yesterday, and I was so happy to do it. But you can't really do that. You know what I mean? That's not a wise thing to do. But in all seriousness, I'm trying. Like, I'm really trying. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying. Trinity says I was on the rag yesterday. I was on something yesterday, I tell you that. I'm trying to understand, man. And I want to give, like, I really would love to try to find common ground with people and get it. And here's the other thing I'll say. Here's what I will say. The coverage of Star Wars, a lot of this is Disney's fault. The way they did the Project Luminous High Republic announcement was very stupid. It's a closed-door press event that starts late, but then you just put it all out online right after that on StarWars.com anyways? Like, that's really weird. And also at a time when we're all really, really, really hungry to know what's happening next with Star Wars as far as from the films. You know what I mean? What's happening next for the movies? What's going on with this new director? All of that is really the narrative that's out there. And for them to not address that, for them to not come out and make the announcement in January about the new director, and there's no real announcement about the future films with the conference call that Uncle Bob did before he was like, I'm out of here. It is really weird. And it's very hard for fans that have had their faith shaken in Disney to look at what Star Wars is doing and not be skeptical. I completely understand that. I understand that. And I do think that it's fair to be like, hey, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm thinking, okay, well, it doesn't have to do with the movies, so I'm not that into it. Or, hey, this is a really weird timed thing. All I want to know about is the future of Star Wars. Or, hey, I really don't like Kathy Kennedy. I really don't like the direction of Star Wars. As long as she's involved, I'm out. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. But, like, if you look at the whiteboard and you pick out not pro-war, and that triggers you and you think that that is wokeness, guys, wokeness is starting to be meaningless. It is starting to be a meaningless fucking word. I don't even know if it means anything anymore. Like, I'm watching, last night I watched the DC movie, Red Son. Fantastic. Fantastic. I loved it. There's a really interesting scene between Lois Lane and Red Son Superman where they're talking about capitalism versus communism. And I could just feel all of the people on the internet being like, oh, it's woke. Oh, it's woke. And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. It literally means nothing. I'm starting to get more pissed off at the anti-SJW, the anti-woke people, than the woke people. For real, for real. It's so drony, stupid, nonsensical garbage talk. It's like, oh, that's woke. Because they're debating the capitalism versus communism. Motherfucker, I know we're old. A lot of us are younger. We didn't live during the Cold War. It was a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm starting to get irritated by this idea that anytime we broach something that's even slightly obscurely political, it's called woke. It's like, I'm starting to get irritated by it. Like, for real. It's irritating. Now, I'm not saying that the way I responded yesterday was the best way. Obviously, it wasn't. But, like, oh my God. Oh my God. It is annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. So anyway, that is what it is. That's all I wanted to say about that. I'm going to continue to cover Star Wars, and I thought the video we did yesterday was actually pretty fair, because I was calmed down and I was scripted. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, it's getting to be a little much for old Josh here. You know what I mean? Like, I legitimately am starting to, everybody that's like, oh, that's wokeness, or I literally, like, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. All right, look, obviously we got to get to the news. The news is crazy, guys. Obviously we got to get to the news, okay? And look, I don't have to tell you what it is, but I'm going to tell you either way. It's the craziest news of the day. Oh, this news is crazy. Chet, you nailed it that time, buddy. Thank you so much. Well done, sir. Well done. Of course, yes, Bob Iger stepped down yesterday as the CEO of Disney. I don't want to run the company anymore, but Bob Iger says, okay? Now, I need to read from this article here, guys. I'm going to read from this. But then, again, like I said at the top, we have special information coming from sources, multiple sources that will remain unnamed, okay? But that we will have to report it as a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. But I'm telling you, multiple sources reached out to us and told us this thing, and I can't believe it, but we will report it. Okay. Disney's Bob Iger elaborated a bit Wednesday on his stunning decision to step down as CEO and become executive chairman effective immediately. I don't want to run the company anymore, Iger said via phone after his announcement. It was actually a butt dial, and they picked it up. It was a butt dial, and he was talking to someone else. And he was like, I don't want to run the fucking company anymore. Job's hard. You know what I mean? The long-tenured chief cited 20 years and 81 earnings calls and said he wants to concentrate on the creative pipeline of the company. Iger told me his desire to step down coalesced. Yeah, that's words. Coalesced around Thanksgiving when he raised it with the board, which had already been targeting candidates. Bob Chapek, who most recently was chairman of Disney Parks, will become the CEO. Iger will remain as executive chairman through 2021, focusing on the creative strategy of the company. When it comes to the long transition, Iger told me there is no rule book on this stuff, and this is what works for the company. Disney shares were down slightly in early trading Wednesday. Okay? So, fascinating stuff off of the top. Clearly, homeboy doesn't want to run the company anymore. It's been fun. It's been real. But thanks, but no thanks. I'm out of here. Now, look, that's the official story. Okay? That's the official story. But, we here at the channel, again, with unnamed sources, have a... Oh, no. We have a... Okay, well, if they're calling the studio phone... Okay, hang on 1 second, guys. I got to take this. Hang on 1 second. Hello? Yeah. Oh, hey, Bob. Yeah, no, I know. I'm about to talk about it right now. No, I know. I know you're excited. No, I know that. No, don't worry. I think everyone will just think it's clickbait. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, yeah, you can watch it later. I know. Yeah, you're still doing that. I get it. Okay, all right. I'll see you later. Wait, one more thing. The shill check? Yeah. Okay. Extra shill check this month? Got it. Okay. All right, Bob. Yep. Okay. Take care. Okay, totally unrelated to anything we're talking about here. But again, guys, unnamed sources, please, I have to report this as a rumor for now, okay? But what has come out from our unnamed sources, totally unrelated to that phone call, who was a totally different Bob, Bob Iger is actually stepping down as a CEO because he's going to join the Fandom Menace and he's going to start a YouTube channel. In fact, his book that came out earlier this year, Chet, get some music going on. Okay, his book that came out earlier this year, guys, that was practice. It was sort of practice trolling, right? He came out, he worked it a little bit. He wanted to talk about how George thought they betrayed him and he betrayed George. I mean, come on. I mean, you saw how the Fandom Menace reacted to that. Okay. He also has an incredible amount of shit that he wants to talk about Kathy Kennedy. Okay? Again, coming in from unnamed sources. James Heaton. James, you're missing. This is an exclusive. Let's back it up for James. I just saw that he just came in. Look. Unnamed sources, multiple sources, James, have told us here at the Den of Nerds that Bob Iger is stepping down as Disney CEO to join the Fandom Menace and to make YouTube videos. I was told he said, I quote, "That shit looks real fun, and man, could I tell you some stories about that bitch, Kathy Kennedy." End quote. It's pretty wild, I know. It's pretty wild. Some of you may not believe it. It is just a rumor for now, okay? But multiple sources have confirmed this to me. Bob Iger will be joining the Fandom Menace and making videos about Kathy Kennedy in the very near future. He's probably got 20 more months. He's probably working on all the dirt. Man, he's going to take over that scene. Those are going to be the videos that get the clicks. You know what I mean? I mean, he's so frustrated when he saw diversity on that whiteboard. I mean, look, I was told that he absolutely flipped a table over when he saw that. He saw diversity, then he saw dinosaurs. He saw no pro-war on the whiteboard. Whew. He's incredibly heated. He's incredibly heated. Okay, so obviously we're joking here a little bit, you know what I mean? Like we're messing around. But look. Look, we're having fun here, but in all seriousness, let's talk a little bit about this Bob Iger thing. I'm sure that many of you really want to know what's going on. Here's my read on it, and I talked to a few people about it yesterday, and I watched a lot of great videos about it and stuff as well. Everybody freaked out when we heard it. Ryan sent us a message in the group chat with all of the executive producers, and I'm not gonna lie, like at first when we saw it, I was like, holy mother of pearl. That is insane. You know what I mean? That is some crazy shit. But then when we looked into it, it seemed pretty normal. And the thing is, there's precedence for this in Disney's past, where basically one of the CEOs or the CEO breaks off and sort of does more creative work. This happened with Eisner. I believe it even happened with Walt. Walt Disney eventually was like, you know, the day-to-day running of the company kind of sucks. It's kind of not that fun. I'd rather do all the fun things that people think about when they think of what it would be like to run Disney. I'd rather do all that and all of the horrible bean counter, phone call things. I mean, the dude was on 81 conference calls with these investors and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. Walt's YouTube channel was legit, says Godfather. Yeah, we just talked about how Bob Iger's going to join the Fandom Menace and make YouTube videos, Godfather. I'm glad you're here for it. But now we're talking about, the real story. So really what's happening with Bob Iger, guys, is he's just keeping the fun stuff for himself and giving all of the crappy work that comes with the job to Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek apparently is like a real douche. Apparently is a real douche that not a lot of people over at Parks actually likes. And there's a lot of bad press surrounding Bob Chapek. He's like kind of failed into this position. I think the only reason that Bob Chapek is doing this is because he's one of the only people that would accept the terms that Bob Iger had. Where Bob Iger was like, hey, look, I've got 20 more months. I'm outie. I still want to mess around with Star Wars. I still want to go bother George Lucas and rub it in his face that we ruined his shit. I still want to, go hang out with Kevin Feige, and go have pints with Tom Holland. I want to do all the fun and glamorous stuff. I've had enough of the bean counting. I've had enough of these meetings. I don't want to do that anymore. And so that's really all it is. It amounts to pretty much nothing. It's pretty much the biggest nothing burger of a story that we've had in a while. I mean, frankly, it's all good for Bob. Like, literally, this is all good for Bob. So that's pretty much it when it comes to Bob Iger and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So of course we'll get into Q&A later. If anybody has any questions, that would we could go over it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I know about it. Not a big deal. Bob's gonna be just fine, and the other Bob, he's gonna be just fine as well. You know what I mean? But what about people supposed to milk videos about this for months now? Look, they can do that. They can do that. That's fine. That's fine if they want to do that. But let's head into the theater, guys. Let's head into the theater. We're having a nice, calm show. Everything's nice and easy peasy, baby. I'm keeping my temperature, nice and even. Let's go into the theater and let's look at some of these set photographs from Venom 2. I want to gush a little bit about Venom 2, guys, okay? So come on into the theater. Trickle in, find your seat, get some popcorn, cell phones off and all that. All right, and we're pretty much ready to go. What is that? What? Oh, you did that, Chet. Oh, you thought it would be funny. Chet thought it would be funny. Do me a favor. Stand up. Sprint. Full sprint out of the studio. I want you gone. Get out of my fucking face. Yeah, is it funny now, Chet? Go. Go, go, go. Sorry about that, guys. Look, Chet thinks he's a real funny guy. Thinks he's a real funny trickster, huh? We're having a nice family. We're having a nice family show. This guy. Can't believe it. Get that off my screen. Okay. So let's talk about some Venom 2. I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty excited about Venom 2. I really like Andy Serkis, and we've been seeing a lot of different set photos, okay? Now, this one right here is the set photo of this slick-ass red car that Cletus Cassidy is going to be driving. We've actually got some footage of him, doing tail whips and stuff with this car. It seems really cool to me. Do you think this car is created by the symbiote? Because I kind of do, and I'm totally down. Woody Harrelson is a terrific actor when he's not just playing Woody Harrelson in a movie like he did in Solo. So here's to hoping that he actually brings a real nice craziness to the role. I'm sure we're all thinking of Natural Born Killers if you've ever seen that movie. It's a good one, man, and he is pretty wild in it as well. This right here is his official look. Of course, comes from Jared. I don't, whatever that thumb thing. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares who got it? This is the official look of Cletus Cassidy in the red Hawaiian shirt. I mean, you got to give respect to the man wearing a red Hawaiian shirt like that. You know what I mean? That's bold. And, of course, the hair. We replaced the horrible mop of a wig with this horrible hair, whatever the hell is going on with his hair. You guys want to know some real shit? That is actually what my hair looks like. You grandpa. That's actually what my hair looks like before I do all of this to it. And it still looks horrible in my opinion. But yeah, that's what my hair probably would look like if I just didn't do anything to it. It's pretty funny, huh? But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you think of the look for Cletus? I'd love to know. Can you drop the price of popcorn in this place? It's killing me. I'll run it by the producers. I don't know. I don't know if we can do that. Run it by the producers. We'll get that going on. Screw this chat guy. Let's see here. No kettle corn, Justin. I'm sorry. You're right. We gotta figure that out. Trevor says weak. You think this Cletus Cassidy looks weak? Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I think it looks cool. Tara is in your seat again. Well, I'm sorry to say that if Tara is in a seat, that's Tara's seat. You know what I mean? That's Tara's seat. By the way, Tara probably feels super differently about Red Sun. Tara, if you're in here, put your Red Sun thoughts in the chat. Yo, what up, Ken Cologne? Cletus looks like he's in an Archie comics. Doesn't care for Cletus's look. Everybody hates Cletus. Is this the High Republic all over again, where I think it's really cool and everyone else thinks it sucks? Some Mike and Ike's in this joint. That's a good idea, Lucas. We might have to do that. We might have to figure that out. And then I want to go here. And let's see here. Let's see if we can figure this out, because I want to show you some of the things that are coming out. Is that working? Is that moving? All right, cool. So there's a couple of different scenes that I want to show you. This one right here. There's some raiding of a church. And there was another one that came out that got taken down. But it looks like whatever's going on in this church here in a showdown, there'll be like SWAT involved, and they'll be coming for carnage or whatnot, okay? And this is another shot from the same scene. A fight in the rain. It looks like they got like some sprinkler action going on there. Now, okay, here, do you see this? This is the car spinning out. This is so cool. I mean, come on. They're having fun on this set, man. You know what I mean? They're just having fun. And you look at some of the other set photos that are just photographs of, like, Andy Serkis just talking to everybody. And, like, it just looks so cool to me. You know? It just looks so cute. I don't know. I really think we're going to have a blast with this film. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. This one here, though, somebody took it down. Oh, wait, no, it's not down. What is going on here? What is happening here? Whoa. Did I miss that? That's pretty wild. Nice. Huh. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, man. I'm telling you right now. I think they're gonna give us something real cool. Real cool. When it comes to Venom 2. But let's get back into the chat. Let's get back into the chat. I want to know. What do you guys think? Venom 2. Where's your head at? You tell me. You tell me where your head is at. Can we get zebra popcorn? Can they not do that everyone gets a symbiote story, though? I'd rather just focus on Venom and Carnage. Yeah. Cletus cut his hair because he escaped from prison. Yeah, maybe in Morbius, too, is from what I've heard. Venom will hit 2 billion? Damn. I do think it'll be much better than the first one. And the first one, to me, is a guilty pleasure. You know what I mean? Oh, Jesus. Okay, we got to... Give me 1 second, guys. Hello? Yeah, we did it, Bob. Bob, you can't call just to give your opinion on Venom 2. That's not how this works. No. It's got to be a serious, if you're going to call the studio phone, it's got to be serious. I'm live streaming right now. You know this. That's why, just go into the chat like a normal person. Look, I know it's going to take you some time to adjust to not being the big boss, to not being a billionaire. You've got to just be a normal person. Make a fake account and just then comment your thing. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Goodbye. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, Rose says you really like the Venom. I really like Venom. Venom's going to be sick. Sony finally getting my Marvel content. I accept Sony because they can go darker than MCU can, even though MCU is better. I still like the dark parts of it too. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. They can certainly do much darker than what they have done in the MCU. That's for sure. Yeah. Venom needs to fight Spidey. I think that's coming. Man. If nothing else, for Hardy playing him. Yeah, so that's the thing. When it comes to Venom 1, I was really pleasantly surprised. The most surprising aspect of Venom 1, the thing that really kind of captured me, was the fact that there was this buddy cop relationship between Venom and Eddie. And it actually just totally works. And they're both performed by Tom Hardy, of course, but it just works. There's a lot of whack stuff in that movie. I also felt like the opening was really cool. It was like, man, like really sci-fi, like really kind of crazy and interesting. And then that ending, the relationship between Venom and him, and the fact that Venom is still there, I thought that was really cool. But yeah, that relationship between those two is really good. There's some wacky stuff in there for sure, but Venom versus Conan. Yo, Captain Pennsylvania is obsessed. Captain Pennsylvania is obsessed with Conan. Tell me why. Is there something going on with Conan that I should know about? I'm hoping Dave is working on a High Republic Clone Wars type series for Disney Plus. I'm hoping that as well, Sam. I'm hoping that as well. But, you know, as long as Kathleen Kennedy is there, it's going to suck. I mean, let's be real. As long as Kathy Kennedy is there, they can't possibly make anything good.
Bruh.
They can't.
Bruh.
You know what I mean? They just can't. And if they keep putting diversity on whiteboards, if I see that shit on a whiteboard again, I'm going to have PTSD. Anytime I see something written on a whiteboard, my mind will probably warp the words into diversity and I'll lose my mind. Cletus looks like Conan O'Brien. Wait. Ray Hall says, who's saying bruh? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bruh.
I don't hear that. So I don't know what's going on. Chet might have done something before he left. She's personally. That actually would be a great troll, Jacob. If they had Kathy come up to the whiteboard and like, you know what I mean? And then just write diversity and like turn to the camera and smile. Like that would be very funny. You know what I mean? That would be great. Conan is just a cool character. How can you love Wolverine and not love Conan? Wolvie isn't even a barbarian. I like Conan. I'm just not like that much of a fan. Not a super fan of him or whatever. But yeah, I'd appreciate it. I do appreciate the love for him. Okay, so last thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to get into straight Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another mutie, another mutant. Okay, wait, we got to stop. Kendall Davis has something that he said, and I want to address it. I want to just address it because this is the thing. The real issue is the need to add diversity to the board. It should be done organically and not forced. Do we really need to write that down in 2020? Here's the thing, Kendall. I'm going to try to be completely fair to you here. Yes, you do need to write it down on the board. And here's why. When I write stories, most of the time, unless I'm specifically putting diversity into my stories, it ends up being a lot of white people. Like, it just is what it is. I write white. Do you know what I mean? That just is what it is. I've actually worked with editors before, and they point this stuff out, and I'm like, you know what? That's interesting. When you don't make it a point, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I don't think that they mean diversity as much as just, like bringing other actual ethnic representations from Earth or from humans. I think they're talking more about like aliens and diversity of story and things like that. The dealio is, bro, Like, that's just how that shit's gonna work. Like, first of all, there's really not the idea of a perfectly organic story, the perfectly organic storytelling, that it doesn't exist. Like, even people that are gardeners as opposed to architects, gardeners as opposed to architects when they're writing, there is no such thing as a completely goddamn organic story. You're always working it. You're working the story. When you tell your best friend about this chick you saw at the gym, that story you're telling, it's not organic. You're emphasizing certain things. You're playing certain things up. You're letting other things go away. That's what storytelling is. There is no such thing as this completely organic storytelling. And if you don't put it on the board, yeah, it doesn't happen. Period. But the board wasn't one word. It was also brainstorming. It was bringing together all sorts of these different ideas. So yeah, just to answer that question, this idea that like it should be organic, I agree, it should be organic, but it should feel organic in the medium, in the story. In the story. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I get what you're saying, but I think that's sort of a not well-informed opinion. That's not a well-informed question. Is like, do we really need to put it on the board? It should be done organically. Brother, putting it on the board is how it gets done organically. The execution is what's going to make it organic or not. I think we've all seen examples of that kind of stuff where it's like, yeah, that was done poorly. It was clearly more important to them, the messaging, than the story. By the way, I don't know a single reasonable person that would say, hey, if it is only about the representation and it's not about the story, that's good. If there are people out there like that, then they're true weirdos. They're true weirdos, and they're not my people. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have a beer with them. Do you know what I'm saying? But, like, the flip side of that is not the 1,000% opposite of it. Yeah, you do need to fucking write it on the board. I had stories as a comic book writer, and it's like, you sit back and you're like, oh, everybody in this story is white. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't write only white people on the board. Do you know what I mean? It just is what it is. That's just how you write. You know what I mean? I think people write what they know. They write what's close to them and all of that stuff. But any good writer also has the ability to get inside the head of other kinds of people. Quentin Tarantino has written some of the best female characters in the history of cinema. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I do think you need to write it on the board. But thank you for the question. Now, let's talk mutants. Another thing came out, and this was on a casting grid for Shang-Chi. A character called WizKid. Okay? Now, by the way, Charles Murphy, saw this on the list as well, but didn't put two and two together there. WizKid is actually a mutant. And his power's really weird. Like, he's basically, like, really good at, like, techno-organic stuff and, like, machinery and stuff. And he gets paralyzed, but he ends up being this, like, character that's like a paralyzed little like orange-haired like Asian kind of kid. I believe he's Asian. But he's like in these weird mechanical, almost like a MODOK, but not like big head. You know what I mean? It would be very interesting. What is he doing in Shang-Chi anyways? You know? Like, is he going to fight? Is it going to be one of those things where in the tournament, this kid in a wheelchair comes out and then you're like, how's this dude going to fight? And then the wheelchair like morphs into like a suit of some kind and then they're fighting that way or whatever. But more importantly than who WizKid is the fact that this is yet again another seemingly obscure mutant that is on a casting grid for something in the MCU before we're getting an official X-Men movie, before we're getting anything official with mutants. We talked about last week how you do need, or the fact that they're going to Madripoor is fascinating to me because, of course, like, how can you go to Madripoor and not have mutants? There's, the rumors that we talked about that Omega Red and Batroc the Leaper will be in one of those episodes, okay? And that's fascinating to me. And so I want to know, and I just want to open it up to the chat, because we talk about this in videos and we see comments and everything, but it's a little different when we're actually chilling. I want to know, what do you guys think about them using obscure mutants or lesser known mutants in the MCU before we actually get to a big X-Men thing or something like that? I'd like to know what you guys think of that. I would like to know. Black Wookiees? Yeah, where are the Black Wookiees at? We didn't have to be told to be inclusive. Yeah, no, I don't, Justin, I get you, bro. I get you. But, like, oh, man, I'm done. I'm fucking done with that. I'm done talking about it. I'm done talking about it. I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this stream. It's like, I get where people are coming from, but there's this idea that, like, you see it that way, and therefore that is the way that it is. That's not being, like, open-minded. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. Introduce us to minor characters first, then it's the setup for the big entrances. I think it's genius. Bring out mutants in general. Then you can bring in predominant mutants. Yeah, I think it works. I think it works. Don't end the stream. I'm not really going to end this stream. I just can't. It's like I can't do it anymore, guys. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I get where people are at with it, but, like, I just don't even understand why it's a big deal. I don't understand. It's not, no, I'm not ending it for fools. Everybody's free to have their opinion and voice it the way that they do. But I feel like it's all like we're on this fucking debate stage at school, and we all just want to bring up these pedantic points that it's like that's not really what we're talking about. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Did you know Omega Red was supposed to be in Deadpool 2? Didn't really like what he looked like, though. Yeah, I did know that, actually. I did know that. In fact, let's just get into Q&A, guys. Let's do like 10 minutes of Q&A, and then we will get on out of here. I think this course is sprinkling mutants in is dope, says Kendall. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Obscure mutants equal diversity. Woke! Yeah. Yep. Hey, y'all, we're here to nerd out and get away from politics. 100%. 100%. Should have never brought it up. I shouldn't have brought it up, but it's invaded everything. What movie would you introduce Wolverine in? You know, honestly, I would do a Weapon X movie. Do like some kind of Weapon X program or like Secret Service type thing, and introduce Wolverine that way. And I'd go with like a middle-aged actor, but obviously have him had been around for a long, long time. But it's like, how do you do that exactly with the Weapon X? I think you have to bend the comic book story a little bit. You know what I mean? But that's what I would do. Bob JPEG looks like a psychopath, guys. Yeah. And apparently he is. From what I have heard. Somehow this is Kathleen's fault. I just know it. Yeah. Disney's new motto, if you ain't woke, you broke. I feel like there's a little bit of trolling going on. I feel like you guys want to see me lose my mind. And we will get the rage meter on the show soon. And the rage meter will happen for sure. Russo brothers are interested in directing a Wolverine movie. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Introduce Wolverine into the next Hulk solo film or maybe even the She-Hulk series. Hey, that could work. Should Marvel do origin stories for mutants that were in the Fox universe or just have them be like Black Panther? Yeah, I think they do a little bit more of the Black Panther way. I don't think we need to have these characters reestablished like that. I don't think so. Yeah, do it like that. Kind of have a setup already in mind. That's what I would do. Maybe Weapon X already exists or X-Force already exists, and we come in on them with a mission. You know what I mean? And things like that happen. Did you see the She-Hulk casting news recently? There really is no She-Hulk casting news. The weirdness thing is Allison Brie was actually just in Pittsburgh shooting a movie. And one of my buddies actually works at a restaurant that did like a setup for them or whatever. We all have, honestly, like ever since Community, I've had a crush on Allison Brie. I think she's really cute. But that casting call was really weird because it was looking for an Allison Brie-like actress. But why wouldn't you just go after Allison Brie? I don't get it. So I don't really know. There really is no She-Hulk casting news other than there's a casting call out there. Just tell Warner Brothers claimed another video. Rage meter spikes. The rage meter would certainly speak. They're making She-Hulk a girl. Forced diversity. I know. I can't believe that. Why do we need a woman She-Hulk anyway? You know what I mean? Josh, I've got a question about Krasinski in well, ask away, brother. Ask away. Allison Brie would be awesome as her. I don't understand why they're not just straight going after her. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. How about Dwayne Johnson in a beefed up role? Bob Iger is taking over Warner Brothers and DC? Maybe. Maverick says, wouldn't a casting call for an Allison Brie-like actor mean she already said no? Maybe. Maybe. Could be. Could certainly be. Introduce Storm and Black Panther 2. Those two characters did a relationship in the comics. Alex says, yeah, that would be really cool, man. It would be awesome for Storm to be in Black Panther 2. We've been talking about that for years. Because of the relationship that they had and because of Avengers vs. X-Men and their fallout during Avengers vs. X-Men. Aubrey Plaza could be good as She-Hulk. She's just a little too weird. And I love Aubrey Plaza, but Aubrey. She's just a little too weird for that role. Jacob's Quest says Allison Brie would be great in anything, especially in my bed. Yeah. I've got a big old crush on her as well. In the paintball episode? Yeah. You know, it is possible that Allison Brie just had no interest in joining the MCU. It's possible. Remember, too, that's a big contract. Whoever they're looking for She-Hulk is a big contract because they put in the casting sheet that they want her to be a future member of the Avengers. You know what I mean? So whoever they're going to get, they need to sign a big contract. It's also possible that they're sort of looking for an unknown because of that. You know what I mean? Like, they'd much rather have an unknown. Every Plaza Psylocke? I don't think so. Miss Marvel moved to 2021? Hadn't heard that. Is that breaking news? Is that breaking news? Let's go have a beer. Meet you at Permanis in Robinson. The one in, there's one way closer than Robinson for me. Robinson's a little far from me. But maybe we can figure that out sometime, James. I wouldn't mind having a beer, talking about stuff. If you bring up the diversity whiteboard, though, I'm fucking walking right out. And it's not all the time. I don't even understand why it's bothering me so much right now. I think I'm just sick of it. Like, I'm literally just sick of it. And, I can't stand how polarizing everything has become and how people have dug in with their different opinions about everything. And like we used to be able to talk as normal people, just be able to talk to each other and be like, okay, I agree or I disagree or whatever. But yeah, I can't do it today. I can't do it yesterday. I'm losing my mind with this stuff, man. Get that rage meter here ASAP. Yep. James Heaton with the super chat.
Josh, MCU was built on Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, Widow, and Hawkeye. If you had to pick 6 less popular mutants to set up that universe, who would you choose?
How was the audio on that read, guys? Was that good? And by the way, James, thank you so much for the support, as always, James. But we fixed the issue. Somebody actually figured it out yesterday in the stream. The issue with the thing was that it was Canadian, right? So, like, the Canadian wasn't the $10. We had a threshold set in there, and so we had to fix the threshold to account for different currencies. And so somebody actually figured that out yesterday on the stream, so I appreciate that, whoever figured that out. But as far as your chat goes, let's see here. MCU was built on Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, Widow, and Hawkeye. If you had to pick 6 less popular mutants to set up that universe, who would you choose? Dang, bro. That's a tough one. 6 less popular mutants. So I like Morph. I think Morph is cool. He's kind of like a version of Mystique. Let's see here. 6 less popular mutants. I don't even know, bro. I mean, like, would you consider Gambit to be one of those? I like Gambit a lot. Yeah, I don't really know, dude. That is a tough question. A tough one for me to answer right off the top. Yeah, because it's hard to say. I got to be honest with you. Here's what I think. I don't think Omega Red is a very popular mutant. I think among X-Men fans and stuff like that, like, yeah, people would recognize that character. But I think the thing with Marvel, and really when we think about the way fans are going to respond to these different characters, I don't think a lot of normies know who Omega Red is. I don't think a lot of normies know who Mr. Sinister is. They might have seen him here and there, but I don't think they know who he is. You know? I think Magneto, Xavier, a lot of the characters that were popular in the movies, of course, Wolverine, Storm, Jean Grey, I think those are popular mutants. But, like, I don't even think, like, Sebastian, I don't even think the Black King is a very popular mutant. You know what I mean? In my opinion. I don't think Havoc is even a popular mutant. So that's like sort of a tough one. I don't know who I would want to base the whole thing off. I will say this. One of my favorite mutants is Phantom X. And Phantom X has had a lot of different iterations and crazy things that go into Phantom X. But Phantom X would be a very interesting character to focus a movie on as far as mutants. But it's a good question, man. It's a good question. I'm base X-Men on chat. Phantom X is back in the comics. Nice. I'll have to check that out. And it's diverse. Yeah, mutants, diverse. Rage meter ticks up a bit. Bloop, bloop. Bloop, bloop, bloop. The rage meter!
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I feel like that soundbite is really low, right? That one needs upped, right? You guys tell me. Is that one too low?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you're here?
It's like a mic drop
Bruh.
kind of thing I want to do. Really just want some Iceman. Iceman's cool. I've never really liked Bobby that much, though. Yeah, that one's low. I've never really liked Bobby that much, to be honest with you. And he feels so underutilized all the time. He's technically like an Omega level mutant, but instead of exploring the interesting aspects of him being an Omega level mutant, they just decided to make him gay. And again, not a diversity, not a woke thing to me. Interesting choice. just, to me, not as fucking cool as it could have been with Bobby becoming an Omega level authoritative mutant. Where's the story about Bobby where he makes sentient ice monsters and it starts taking over the globe or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, that's way more interesting to me than the fact that he was gay. Do you know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not that fucking interesting. Do you think they'll use Hickman's House Powers of X when they introduce X-Men in the MCU? James, we get this question a fair bit, actually. Ooh, Warpath. Great choice, Hector. Great choice. When it comes to Hickman stuff, we get this a lot, and it's tough, man, because I don't think you can use some of the best parts of the Hickman X-Men stuff. I don't think you can use the best parts of it because it's built on the history of the X-Men comics. Why couldn't he be gay and cool? Come on, Den of Nerds. I didn't say that, motherfucker. I didn't say that, Alex. I didn't say he couldn't be cool and gay. I said the decision to focus on him being gay is not as cool as the decision to focus on his powers. Don't twist my words, motherfucker. Don't twist my words, Alex. Sorry. Rage meter. Beep, 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 beep. Do you think that the popularity of Baby Yoda is a part of the reason that we're only going back 200 years for the High Republic? For Yoda in his prime? Very possible. I think, actually, they want to be closer to the prequels than not. And I think that's because they have an idea, I believe they have an idea to tie that into something really interesting with regards to the prequels and the prequel lore. Do you know what I mean? I think it might have to do with Plagueis. It might have to do with these ancient Sith gods. But the thing is, guys, all that's awesome, and this speculation is cool, but they wrote diversity on that whiteboard. Why'd they have to do that? You know what I mean? We could have all sorts of really cool and interesting conversations about these kind of speculative ideas. But instead, they just decided to write diversity on that board. You know what I mean? Absolutely horrible. Kiki13 says, Josh, do you play Marvel mobile games? Like Marvel Contest of Champions? I do not, but I gotta tell you, The Godfather plays the shit out of those games. And The Godfather, as you would imagine for anyone that goes by the moniker of The Godfather, is a pretty wealthy guy. And I think the majority of his wealth goes into that game. That he's a whale for that game. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't play it. I'm very excited for the other game that Kabam is making, which is the Realm of Champions. Realm of Champions. That game, to me, is looking really good. But there's no info. There's no gameplay. Come on. Where's the gameplay out for Realm of Champions? I'm sitting here. I want that mobile game to be out. I want to play it. And let me tell you this, too. One of the games I'm playing a lot, well, a lot's debatable because I haven't grinded a lot in the past couple of days, but I really like the Magic the Gathering mobile game called Mana Strike. That game is fun, man. Simple tower defense. You know what I mean? Simple tower defense kind of game with the planeswalkers and different units and stuff like that, but it's really cool. It's really cool. Man, I hope I didn't upset Homeboy that had the question of Alex. Alex, if you're still watching, I apologize, man. I didn't mean to come at you so hard. It's just like, that's that shit, man. Like, Alex, that's that shit. It's that pedantic kind of talk. You're trying to catch me slipping. You're not trying to have an actual conversation, bro. I didn't say what you think I said. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I hope you're not upset. Let's see here. We're going to need a new drinking game. Forget shots for Dark Avengers. Making shots every time the whiteboard comes up. I actually have a whiteboard, and I was literally going to write on it diversity and have it as like a thing to like trigger people and stuff. We'll see. We might still do that. Later anti-oblivion mirror. Take care, man. But he's a white whale. Jaren Good says, yeah, he is a white whale. He is a white whale. What's the Baby Yoda question? How did I got all distracted. Where's the Baby Yoda question? Because that was kind of interesting. Okay, yeah, Baby Yoda. Oh, it was Oblivion Mirror or Anti-Oblivion Mirrors question. Feels bad because now he's gone. Feels bad. No, I don't think they're doing it for the Baby Yoda purposes. And honestly, I wouldn't like that. You want to talk about organic? You know what I mean? We were talking about organic earlier. I'll tell you what's pretty fucking unorganic is, holy crap, Baby Yoda's the most popular thing on the planet. How do we work him into a Star Wars movie? How do we work Baby Yoda, grown-up Baby Yoda, into Star Wars property? We need grown-up Baby Yoda. That is terrible. Terrible. He got me to say it. Drink! Besides Galactus, who would be the villain for the Silver Surfer movie? Other Celestials, the Beyonders, the Chaos King, all sorts of different villains could be the villain of a movie like that. Adam Warlock, Magus. Yeah, I know. Did you hear Baby today's name is actually Yeed? The Baby Yoda's name is actually Yeed? Why don't they make it Yeet with a T? That would have been really funny. We need a story development workshop on the Den of Nerds so everyone can understand the story development process. Then we can all sleep at night. Maybe so. Maybe so, Mev. Uh-oh, Lucas. I apologize, but we're going to end this stream pretty soon. Welcome to DMV hell, bruh. About to be stuck in that DMV hell, bruh. Okay, look, here's all you got to do. You find someone in the DMV waiting room, and you sit next to him, and pull out the video, Lucas. Pull out the video from the High Republic announcement, okay? And then you start to show them the video, but then when it gets to the whiteboard part, pause it, let them see it, man, and then they'll probably be so irate that they'll leave. They'll leave the DMV, making your line to get to your task much shorter. Diversity on a whiteboard. Who would have known? Who would have known that the weakness, the Achilles heel of grumpy white people everywhere was going to be Colin Kaepernick taking a knee in the middle of a football field? And then who would have known that as a great sequel to that, exploding the brain of people bothered by diversity everywhere would have been diversity written on a whiteboard? Can you imagine if Kaepernick came out with the whiteboard with diversity, took a knee just in the middle of some place and held up the whiteboard of it's like Wu-Tang, and just hits the knee and it puts the diversity up? Can you imagine it? It would have been nuts. Would have been absolutely insane. Who would have known? Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for being a part of the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, where my audience just loves to trigger me. Yo, Altered Carbon is dope, Justin. You should definitely check it out. I really like it. It's probably a little too woke, but it's really good. Anyways, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, being a part of the morning stream. Lots of good stuff on the way. Any videos later? Absolutely. We're going to put a video out on the main channel. Gotta be honest, though, I'm not really sure what video. It seems like a slower news day. Seems like a slower news day. Will it trigger you? I'll tell you what, Justin, it's not going to trigger you like this shit's been triggering me. Full transparency, 100% transparency. I do apologize. I don't know what it is. Maybe Trinity's right. Maybe I'm on my internet rag. I don't know what it is, but this shit's really getting to me lately. Yeah, maybe we'll just do some yoga later and and chill out. You know what I mean? But again, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I will see you later today on the main channel. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We sent Chet home, so we don't have the end video. Some diversity coming in. Diversity's coming in. I got to get out of here. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.